So here I am. I'm going to be trying out a Hobie demoing a Hobie Outback, Mirage Outback. So the reason I am demoing this is because my kayak 2 days ago, took on so much water at the end of a trip that I nearly did not make it back. That's why I am demoing a Hobie with a drive system. I have never used the drive system. They say it's the best. And this nice gentleman, Jack from Kitty Hawk, dolphin, jet ski rentals, Hobie fishing, kayak tour. Anyway, the Kitty Hawk company here in North Carolina allowed me to do this, test it. All thanks to Kitty Hawk kites, and especially the people at the kayak center. So I'm almost ready. I don't have a lot of gear. A little bait. Picked up some fresh finger mullet. I got the finger mullet in a little bay over here with a casting net, a 6-foot casting net. The only thing is, I went fishing because the weather was bad. Went fishing on the dock, and they're not alive anymore. But finger mullet. This is what finger mullet is. You'll see it when I put it on the hook. So this is the first time I'm trying it. I'm just going to go out. I'm not going to go out far. The gentleman asked me to only go a few hundred yards for more of a demo. So this is not really a hack kayak fishing adventures trip legitimately, because it's not my kind of trip. As you guys know, when I go out, I really go out. I don't go 200 yards. I go all over the place. Sorry I didn't record the last two adventures. I was having technical difficulties and the weather was pretty bad. I wasn't confident I could fish. And video. So since I was not confident of that fact, I just didn't even try it. But at least we'll get this. So first thing is, it's not an extremely long kayak. It's actually very short compared to what I've had, the ocean kayak prowler. But it is very stable so far. I can see that it's built for stability. I also feel that it's got a lot of setup. It's got extra rod holders. It's got the pedal drive. It's got a little basket here for your cell phone and all that such. It's got some nice storage in the back and one in the front. So the tide is well out. I mean, it's not low tide, it's still moving, but the tide is moving from your left to your right. So is the wind. I'm going to hug the shore, see if I see any activity along the shore up to that little dock there. Go around the other point, across to the reeds, see if there's any areas of interest to just cast a few times. Even though it's a demo, I'm going to fish a little too. I see some mullet jumping halfway across. Oh, there it goes again, mullet jumping. They either are jumping because they're chasing something, but more likely, I think that they see something that's a predator potentially, and they're trying to escape it. Unless it's breeding season, I don't think and they were mature, they would be jumping for any other reason. And that was not a fully grown mullet, I am sure of that. It was a little bigger than a finger mullet, but it was not a full-grown mullet. Mullets can get really big. I didn't realize that. I got some as bait the other day, and there was one of them that was almost 19 inches long. I don't know. It was really long and heavy. I mean, you could have fished with that bait almost all day. So I don't see too much activity. Whoa, I just missed it. Oh, there was a fish I spooked right here on the flats. I spooked that fish. That was not good. That was not good. I should not have done that. I was not cautious. A big wake just to the left of me. I spooked the fish. Hopefully he or she, whatever, did not venture too far and is going to be hopefully feeding in this area longer, whatever. Of course, I'm not entangled. Like I said, hack kayak fisherman. I'm ready for action, right? No, wrong. I'm not. Oh, this one doesn't have an anchor system, so I'm gonna have to make do some other way. So I'm gonna try on this rig. Got a little teaser on there, and one of the local little floats they've been using, telling me that did produce a strike in the fish. So I'm going to try one more time. This time I don't have as big of a hook. I was just set up for smaller fish, but that's okay. I'm going to put a small mullet on this, and I'm certain even a decent size red drum, I could set the hook, even this size hook. But I'm going to step up on this hook size a few notches at least very quickly. I just want to get some bait in the water because of what I saw. That's the only reason that kayak fisherman. So one negative, the little rod holders have a little escutcheon, a little cover, and you have to move the cover out of your way to get the pole in. That's fine, but once you move it, it flips back closed. So when you're fishing, you don't need to take all these extra action. One negative. That's the only negative so far. This paddle's too short for me. I guess since it's got the dry system, they don't need as. Okay, I'm gonna throw it up. Let's just hope that whatever was there did not move. I'm going to only fish one technique today at a time, because the last trips, two of them, I tried two techniques at the same time. One of these trips that I didn't record had me all the way out there to the point of the third house, kind of windy, stormy. A fish took a big strike and ran like a freight train. I was in the reeds. I had my little hand anchor deployed, and I was fishing off a little point of the reed where there was some transition water, which is beautiful to fish. And sure enough, I could get a strike, massive fish, and I do mean massive. I've had big fish. It's probably the second or third biggest fish I've ever had on, that I even had a chance to bring in. So I cannot control this fish. It goes right, pulling line, pulling line, pulling line. I'm afraid to tighten up the drag anymore because it'll break the line. That's how hard it was pulling. Then left, same thing. Right, left, center. Starts moving the kayak, even though I have an anchor deployed to my left side, fishing the bank. And it's pulling the kayak slowly, an inch at a time, upwind. It's pulling it upwind. It was insane. And I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get this fish in. I'm fighting it 10, 15 minutes to the point where it's just I can't even gain much distance on him. That's how strong this fish was. It was the light. It was this rod, exact rod, but it had one of my older reels. I don't even remember what the brand was, but I've had that thing 15 years, 20 years at least. So I'm fighting it so hard that the reel seizes. I cannot crank the reel anymore. It absolutely seized right in the middle. And he's still on, still pulling me into the reeds, upwind. It was insane. And then all of a sudden, the fish decided that he or she had enough of that, makes a left turn, barreling right into the weeds. Actually goes, I could see my line just going into and there's no way I could pull it out, control it, anything. And sure enough, line breaks after I get caught up in the weeds and the fish is gone. So that was the excitement you missed. I wish I recorded that. And after that, on the way back, it got really windy, and my beautiful ocean prowler started taking more water than I've noticed it. But I didn't realize this because it was such an exciting trip. You know, fighting the wind, the tide, and all. It was a windy day. There was potential storms. I didn't notice that it was riding extremely low. Now, I also had a little extra gear. I had a bucket of bait and a little water and some other heavier things that I don't normally carry. So I'm not even a half the way back against the wind and a storm coming to my right. And I noticed that my kayak is riding at least halfway lower than it's supposed to. And it appears to be getting worse. I got a strike. Nice. I think it's probably the same fish that was hanging out there. She was hanging out. And I was patient. I was very patient. So this fish is pulling me a little, as you can see. I'm doing a little surfing. It's not a very big fish, but it's most likely a keeper. Most likely. Oh, yes it is. Look at it go. Yes it is. It's probably 20 inches. That's my guess. That's just a guess. Loosen up the drag a little. He's pulling pretty hard. He's pulling me. Nice. Nice fish. Nice fish. It's definitely a keeper. Let's see. Beautiful. Check out this baby. Let's make sure before I commit to doing anything. He's perfectly, oh my gosh, I hit it the nail on the head. This fish is exactly 20 inches. Exactly 20 inches. Exactly what I said. Oh my goodness. I gotta get him in some kind of, I want him to stay fresh. I'm gonna share this fish with Jack. Jack is the gentleman that let me borrow the kayak, and since I'm leaving tomorrow and he offered the kayak, I am going to offer the fish to Jack. So here it is, beautiful. I'm gonna put basically make my own little stringer. I want to get the hook out first. Fuck that. I gotta save this fish. Gotta get that fish in water. I don't want it suffocating, dying. That was exciting. First cast. Beautiful drum. Let me just make sure he's okay. Yeah, he's okay. Sorry about the poor quality. Don't have the cell phone attached to a good location yet. I haven't found one yet, but I will. So here he is. Woohoo! 20-inch red drum. First cast. First cast. That was exciting. So I'm gonna look for a better spot for the camera. I don't like how it's in my knapsack and just flopping around. I thought it would be a good thing because it was right behind me, but not the case. So I'm gonna look for somewhere to attach this that's not in the way. Let's see what I have here. I think I should have attached the camera before. There's the fish, still on. He's on a stringer, he's breathing, he's right side up. That's a good sign, which means he's gonna survive, he'll be fine. So I'm gonna try to do it this way. Let's see if this works. Yeah, I think this will be fine. So I'm gonna get some more bait up, go to a similar spot, continue to fish to see if I could catch a bigger one. Give the gentleman, I cannot keep two. In North Carolina, the regulation is one slot fish, 19 to 20, 19 minimum, 27 I believe maximum. Yeah, 19 to 27. So I'm gonna do the same exact baiting technique because it obviously worked. I go half, 3/4 of the way back, straight through the spine of the fish and out the other side, like so. Again, this hook is smaller, much smaller than I usually use, but it worked fine with this fish. So I'm not gonna move up to the bigger hook yet. So I caught the fish to the left. This is all good. It's moving tide. This is what it is. Local guide, fishing legend, queen, Miss Renee, the first, well, not the first time I met her, but the second time I actually met her, and she told me about, actually, a lot of people don't know this, but, big but. And I knew it was something that I needed to know when she said, a lot of people don't know this, but, but the Reds like it in the outgoing tide even better than the incoming tide. They like it, the outgoing more than the incoming tide. So when I heard that, I'm like, I think I could fish all day. I could fish the in, the out. I just don't want to fish the slack usually. It's unlikely that it would be better at dead low slack, tide, simply because just the bait, everything is just not moving, kind of stagnant, and fish are much less likely to be feeding at that time. I don't know why it works that way, but there's something in the biology of it and the energy. There are more fish on that point. That's why I'm going back there to see if there are any bigger fish that I could offer Jack. Can't get out of there, can you? No, you can't get out of there. Hide it, right? Looking for the shallower water, looking for any surface activity to try to hit the right points. So that was fast. So the other part of the trip was, well, it wasn't on the kayak, but I went for the first time to Ocracoke Island, southeast of Hatteras. Ocracoke Island, you can only get to it by ferry. It's a long drive, about an hour and change from Nag's Head, an hour and 15 minutes maybe, and then an hour ferry almost ride. But the worst part of it is the wait on the ferry. It was not the actual ferry ride. We had a rough time getting on a ferry. It took an hour and a half or two to make it on to a ferry after we had arrived. So, but it was fun, and I wanted to fish off the easternmost point of Ocracoke. And by the map, it looked like it was a short walk from this access path for four-wheel drive vehicles only, by the way, and I didn't have the permit, so I didn't drive the vehicle on the four-wheel drive, road, sand road. You drive on the beach, pretty much. Oh, there was a nice jump. There was a nice jump. That was not a red drum. That was either a mullet or speckled trout. Nah, I saw the color on that. It didn't look like a speckled trout. Oh, bluefish. I'm sorry. It could have been a bluefish. Caught a nice big bluefish out there. So I'm out there. I have my wife drop me off in this access road as soon as it gets really sandy. We have an all-wheel drive Pilot, but it has those nitrogen tires. So I'm not taking air out of a nitrogen tire car that I own when I'm out on vacation without a pump, without a tank and pump to pump more nitrogen to bring it back up to whatever specs are, 29, 30, I don't know what it is for nitrogen. So I didn't do that. She drops me off. I'm thinking I get to the beach, which was a few hundred yards. Long, big beach. Beautiful beach in Ocracoke. Oh my goodness, if you have never been there and you're anywhere near the Outer Banks, Hatteras, that part of North Carolina, even if you're in South Carolina and you want to take a trip a little up north, it's beautiful. So I get there, I got a lot of gear. Flies and gnats are killing me. It's getting close to dusk, about an hour or two away from sunset, and I go to the beach. I look to my right, which I assumed was like a quarter mile, maybe a mile walk by the map. It's 10 to 15 miles at least more of beach. So I'm not going, because I told my wife to come back and pick me up a little later before, by sunset. So I fished there, nothing much except a bluefish, but that bluefish was massive. It was a massive bluefish. I will upload a few pictures I have of it. I let it go, but it was 28, 20, maybe close to 30 actually inch bluefish. Fought like heck. It was fun, and I kept on putting bait out, and I hit a shark. I mean, I hit it. There was a fish right in front of us. I spooked another one. See, this is a good spot. This is a good spot. This is a good spot. So those are the sinkers they've been telling me. Oh, this is a really good. I wish I had an anchor. Obviously I don't. So I'm gonna try to paddle slowly against the wind and the tide so I could stay around this point. Let's hope he get it and another one takes it. I have a really good feeling about this. The conditions, the method, my familiarity now after several fishing trips for these red drum in this area. I am feeling like very confident that I am going to induce other strikes, at least one more, in this area in the next half hour. I'll be surprised. Well, maybe I'm getting too close. I'd be surprised if by the activity I'm seeing, how quickly I caught that first one, and the activity I'm still seeing around me. They are feeding as the tide is going out. They're facing probably, this is what I would do, and I'm pretty sure this is what's happening. Face the wind and opposite the wind and tide, and wait for stuff to float near you, scope around, makes their life easier. And that's what they're doing. I need a drink. I don't want to get dehydrated out here. Don't want to risk that. So the shark hits. I didn't know it was a shark when it first hit on the beach in Ocracoke. Of course, I didn't know it was a shark. But after a while, it was pulling a little different than I'm used to. It was pulling hard and fast, almost like, and every time I would try to gain some distance on it. Is it moving? Is the float moving? No. No, I think it is. I think a fish is playing with it. So every time I pulled, it almost felt like the shark was reacting harder to me tugging on the line harder, trying to bring it in. So what I believe happening is that the sharks, somebody did tell me this once, they have a terrific sense of smell around their snout, aside from the electromagnetic whatever waves that they pick up. They also have a terrific sense of feel. They feel for their food once they get really close. And once this whole procedure of how to chomp and eat, that's been ingrained in their DNA for millions and millions of years. So every time I pulled, it just pulled harder, like as if it was hurting. I was actually hurting the fish. So I fought it. This time I had the better reel. I got it close to the surf, and sure enough, it looked like a very gray shark with white tips. So I'm assuming it's a white tip. I'm pretty sure of it. And bringing it left to right in the surf. It wasn't very, very wavy. It was about a 2 to 3 foot surf on Ocracoke at that point. But once I got it to about 2-3 feet of water, with the waves rolling over it, there was no bringing it up any further. So it was almost fully submerged in water with just its fins, its pectoral and fins pointing up. And I didn't have my camera, I didn't have a radio. This nice lady says to me, "Oh, can I help you? Can I help you?" I'm like, yeah, I don't have my cell phone. I got to get a picture of this shark. And she says, where? I tell him the backpack, where? And she goes, gets my cell phone. Meanwhile, I'm like, how am I going to get a picture with this shark? This shark was big. This shark was probably 7 to 8 feet long. I mean, it was heavy. And I'm seeing it. It's just, I'm not touching it yet. But it's about this distance from here to my float. And I make the decision, I'm going to go grab its tail when she's coming back with my cell phone for the picture. For the not the selfie, the picture with the shark. And as soon as she comes back, chomp, one last bite. The shark bites off the leader and goes free, and I don't get my picture with my shark. It was a little disappointing. Oh, I did lose the bait. I had a bite. I thought I did. I think the leader is just so long that it took a little while for it to register, for me to realize what was going on. So that's okay. I am going to try that again, but pay attention. I don't need to shorten it. It's okay. I'm not desperate or that desperate to catch a fish. It'll be okay. But the water is so shallow here. I think that's why it is. This is just a little too long of a leader line, probably. How can I shorten it? You know what? There is a way I could shorten it up really quickly. I'm going to just do that. I don't need the teaser. I mean, the teaser is not for this kind of fishing. I don't know what possessed me to use the teaser, but I did. Teaser did. But that's not why I got the strike. I mean, I'm certain that's not why I got the strike. So I'm going to shorten it up because the water is very shallow, so I could get a better, quicker idea whether a fish is taking it. Because with the long leader line and shallow water, you may not realize it fast enough to set the hook. And if that's the case, obviously the fish gets a free meal. That's what I call it. I call it a free meal. If I give the fish that much of an opportunity to get a free meal off me when I'm trying to catch it, I think to me that's failure, obviously. All right, so a lot shorter, maybe too short, but I don't care. I'm just going to try this technique. I'm going to try everything, and then I'm going to try the pedal drive after. So I'm going to keep going over there. Let's see if I could get over there a little closer. A little shallower and closer to the shore. All right, one more cast and then I'm going to try the pedal drive. All right, nice. Hope I don't scare any fish over there. It's right there. Hope you guys can see it. I'm going to do the same thing. Sort of paddle against the current, so I generally stay in the same area. Bait will probably start obviously coming to me because it doesn't have a paddle going upwind, up tide. So with that short leader line, I hope it's not too close to the float, and that orange, that it would spook a smart fish. But that's the thinking. That's the thinking. I know I had another big hook over here somewhere. I must have put it in the bag. Gotta keep an eye out on that float. If it starts moving, I need to set that hook. Not yet. What did I do with strike. Same general area. It's a little further left. That's the only difference where I cast. That doesn't mean anything. I mean, sometimes getting a lot closer to the shore may be a difference, but a few yards left or right here is not the reason why I'm not getting a strike. That's not it. Fish can see, smell, bait. It's almost like they have a sense. If they're anywhere near there, they at least will see it or smell it. And if it's presented in the... Oh, there was a nice little ripple to the right of my float. Perfect. This is where I want to be. That ripple is not after my bait, but maybe the long leader line was required. To me, it was just too long. If I had something in the middle, just ready, I would just throw it on there. I thought I actually did, but I was wrong. I don't. With a bigger hook. Kayak fisherman, always prepared. Oh no, that's the Boy Scouts. That's not kayak fisherman. Oh. So I know this is boring compared to some of the other trips, how far I went and what I did and all that stuff. But remember, this is demo day, so the Hobie out back is stable. But if you just want to paddle around without the drive that I'm going to try later, I just don't think this is it for me. I would want something a little sleeker, longer, that would paddle, that would have a lower profile to the wind. So if I was a paddle only person, I probably wouldn't get this, because I go quite a bit of distance. If you're just going, you know, a quarter mile, there we go, quarter mile, eighth of a mile. If you're going a short distance, this is fine with the paddle only. But if you want to go miles, this is not a paddle kayak as far as I'm concerned. With the drive, it probably is, and I will try that. So I'm very confident of that. Well, something hit and didn't hit, just like boop. There we go. Ow! I didn't sink the hook. Maybe I jumped the gun. Maybe I jumped the gun. Now, I looked like it was going. I mean, you saw it. All right, vote. Was that fish going? And I tried to set it at the right time, or did I prematurely? Oh, I think it's going. I think it's going again. This is not a big fish. It's a crab that's got a hold of it. I don't know. So you vote. Press 1 if you think I tried to set the hook too soon. Press 2 if you think I tried to set the hook just at the right spot, but just had the gods of fishing misfortune hit me in the wrong way. So after that, there's a chance that there was still bait, so I left it there. But yeah, there's still a piece, but I want to put the bait somewhere else. Wow, he didn't even. Wow, he. I don't know why we're so stuck on getting the right, you know, female, the gender of things. I guess it's just the way I was raised. I always want to say he. I don't say it. He or she. Well, I don't know if the fish is a he or she. I'm not a marine biologist. So since I don't know, when it comes to that point to say this fish or whatever, I say he, she, it. I always do that, and I always say, well, almost always. And if I say he, I say or a she. He or a she. He or a she. I'm like a broken record, right? All right, so that was good. took the bait, didn't set the hook. I'm gonna go back, maybe a little shallower. Yeah, I'm gonna go just a little shallower. I should have brought my own anchor on this Hobie, so since I'm so interested in fishing, it's more than the kayaking actually. I mean, I love kayaking by itself, but put the two together, that's the only reason why I love it so much. So you can see how interested I am in demoing the motor drive. It's still not on the kayak, and I am trying to get back to a perfect fishing spot. Okay, so I don't want to spook them again. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop here, cast out to the left, little left, and try to stay close to my bait. See what happens in shallow water. I didn't spook anything this time coming up here, which could be good or could be bad. Well, maybe I didn't spook them because they left. Oh, no, but I just tend to think there aren't that many fish here that just paddling anywhere, you're going to spook a fish on the surface and get a read on. Oh, there we go. There we go. Something happened. Something happened. But it's so shallow, it could be a crab, actually. The bait did not look like it was when I brought it in the first time and used it again. The bait did not look like it was mauled by a crab. You could tell crab mauled bait because it looks like it's like been nibbled a few hundred times. That's what they do. They chomp with their claws and grab, and they nibble and chew with their mouth. So even a short while, you have these distinct withered kind of bitten marks to your bait if it was a crab that got to it. If you've seen it a few times, it's totally different than a fish totally biting off, obviously. A nice, smooth, rounded chunk off your bait. That's obvious. That was a fish's teeth going through it. Or others that suck it in, it sort of looks a little deformed, but it's not chewed up, you know, bit by bit by bit. What was that? Was that a fish over there? Was that my wake? So I obviously have gotten way too close to my bait, and my bait was taken. Ah, good thing I checked. So my bait is gone. Woohoo! Oh, not woohoo, woohoo. All right, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna put the hook a little further closer to the tail and low, and hope that I can set the hook a little faster on this one if I get another strike. All right, I'm gonna whip it quite a ways out there. I don't need to go on the shore. Up closer to shore. Oh, to the left of my bait, way to the left. I saw nice movement in the water. I mean, a big, nice movement in the water. Just to the left, by 3/4 of the way to the marshes, to the reeds. Yeah, right in front of the traffic. Can you see the traffic there and the signs? This is where I am. I'm in right where the Cape Hatteras National Seashore Road starts, that goes all the way down south to Hatteras and then Ocracoke with the boat and all that, and all the towns in between, Avon, Buxton, I don't know, there's a bunch of them. And on the other side, when you go left, you go right into Nag's Head, Kill Devil Hills, Kitty Hawk, all that Southern Shores area. So that's how you know where I am. I don't need to location tag this video. Just look at the video. Still floating. Still floating. Still floating. Come on, fishy. Yeah, fishy, fishy. I'm gonna make a longer lead later line. What did I do with that hook? I had one already. Can't find it. You know what? I'm gonna go for the pedal drive. All right, so I don't know how to do the pedal drive, so just be patient with me. Hope I don't lose my phone. Okay, so I somehow have to reach back there. This I don't like. You know how much I hate reaching for stuff behind me. I can't even get this thing. Finally, I got it. So this is the pedal drive. That was hard. You drop it in the slot. It's like so. You have a right, left. Clicks in. That was easy. It ain't gonna work. Gotta get this bucket behind me. Okay, bucket's behind me. So, forward, reverse. Let's see. Am I forward or reverse? These pedals are pretty... Oh, I guess they want to make sure. Am I reverse or forward? I can't tell. I guess. That's forward, obviously. Yep. Nice. I'm not feeling it for the pedal drive yet. It's pretty cumbersome right now. Guess I'm not used to it. I understand that. But it's really hard to steer. Really hard to maneuver. And my instinct, having paddled all these decades, my instinct is making me want to paddle every time I want to go somewhere. It's kind of an odd feeling. And there is a way to steer it. I could see these thin little things that I think I'm supposed to be using, but I
I have not been able to figure them out yet. I mean, not figure them out. You turn them to the right if you want to go right, to the left if you want to go left. I mean, it's not that it's complicated. It's just getting the feel for it is the issue. So I want to turn to the left. See, so it propels you so quickly, which looks like it's really efficient. It's almost like you're going to go so far in order to complete a turn. That's the way I'm looking at it, if I've described that. So I have it turned left right now. Look how hard, well, it's making a hard left, that's all I'm saying. There you go. Yeah, for some reason, I'm not getting the strikes before, so shortening up the leader line was a mistake. Oh! Goodbye, fish. That fish was, I didn't re-pierce the skin in another place. And when I cast out, the fish went flying in a different direction. That does happen a lot. Especially when you're a hack kayak fisherman. So, I'm gonna find something else to use something else. Now, the problem is, I gotta reach back here again, get my bucket, bring my bucket. Use that same line because it's quick and easy. That's why I'm going to do that. And I'm going to try something tricky. I'm actually going to put a second bait fish and second finger mullet on the actual teaser. And the reason is because it's a significantly bigger hook. I always do say, you want to catch big fish, use big hooks and big bait. So that's following my own rules and suggestions. So this little hook is going to be in the bottom, and the larger one on the teaser is going to be on top. There is that. So the metal, all this metal, is so far away from where the bait is. I'm not worried that that's going to be an issue. But yeah, if you can, you want to minimize the amount of metal lines and shiny stuff close to your bait. You do want to minimize that. So this will be easy. I'm going to loop it around through the eye and bring the hook back around and through the loop. Now tighten it up. Make sure you go through, there we go, through the knot goes through the hoop a second time and is all the way down. Because if that's not the case, you don't have the strongest, yeah, you don't want to, there we go. Now you have the strongest point holding this hook to that metal leader. All right, let's bait up. So the larger one is going to be dang it, can't even grab a finger mullet, dude. Alright, the smaller one is going to be on the back hook, the second hook. And I'm going to put a bigger one on the teaser. Let's see if that works. I'm going to put a really bigger one. go. You want the hook to stick out of there right by the guts. Alrighty. Alright, so the question is, where do I go? I have the whole wide world at my command. Where should I go? Where I caught fish before, where I'm not catching now. See, now I'm telling it to go right. And look how hard it is to go right. It takes a while to respond. That's what I'm trying to say. But it is efficient. This is not, well, the seat is set too close for me. I'm too tall for the way the seat is set up. But what I'm trying to say is that it's really easy to move. Oof, that was a mistake. That could have been bad if I lost my phone. It's really easy to move with the drive system. I mean, you could hear and see how little pressure force I'm using on the pedals. I mean, it's just minimal. And if it was set the right distance, and I was more familiar with it. See, there we go. I am dead right. I am pushing dead right. And look how long it took against the wind to come around and actually start making the right hand turn. So it's a different feel. It's definitely a different feel. You definitely want to test it and try it out and practice before you go miles out, because I'm sure it takes some getting used to. I did not intend on going all the way right. Now it's going to go. I'm going to have to get up speed to use the rudder system. Because it's against the wind, it's not even. There you go. Now it's coming around right a bit. So I'm going to get most of the way to that shoreline and fish this side a little closer, and I'm going to fish as close to the point as I can. I'm going to face into the wind, and hopefully I will be able to just paddle straight just once in a while. All right, perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. Now, I don't mind if I drift back a little because I'm too close to my bait. I don't mind at all. Too close to my bait. I didn't stop the kayak quick enough and I got too close to it. But it's okay. I'm going to drift away, drift back away from my bait. The wind is naturally taking me that way. Good. So all you need is like paddle once and you resist the wind. Paddle once, that's all you need. Is it because I'm drifting or a fish is pulling? That was a tough one to read because I let the line get too tight. I think it was because I drifted too far away from the line, the float, and it started pulling on it. In other words, the fish wasn't pulling on the bait, I was pulling on the other side, drifting away from the bait. What was that? No, nothing. Just to the left of me looked like I spooked the fish, but I'm not sure. Oh, what that happened to my bait again? So I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna go up a little. Ooh, I did spook a fish right in front of me. Did you see that? Did you see that? I saw it. I'm holding right here. There was a fish just a few feet ahead of me, and there is activity as the tide is still rolling our way now. I hate to move my bait, just put it out, but I want to be straight ahead where the kayak is facing. That's where I saw the few fish going. Upwind, up tide. All right, I got more water. Gonna need that. I don't have a lot. Actually, nobody drank the one little bottle. I have one more. I'm gonna drink a little water and then redeploy the bait. Yeah, I don't want to get dehydrated out here. I want to get dehydrated anywhere, but you know, out in the heat, kayak fishing, paddling, or not paddling. Oh, did they get the little one? They did. They got the little one. Surprise, surprise, surprise. I don't know how they got the little one. I didn't see it pulling. See, there you go. The long leader line is not necessarily the best. But I'm gonna go get another small piece. Reach back for the bucket. Bring the bucket. This is the perils of kayak fishing. Reach back for your bucket. I do not like that. I do not like having to, because that's how I flipped the one time I flipped a kayak with all my gear, as you know, with that story, is reaching to unhook my line from the rudder system in the back, from the back rudder. That's how I flipped and lost all my stuff, as you guys know the story. So I'm going to put a small one again. I just think a little further left. That's all I need. There you go, right there. I'm going to cast out quite a ways ahead of me, because I do not want to be perfect that close to my bait like before. I just don't want to do that now. I want to stay alert. There, you got the bait right in the middle of your field. I want to stay alert. I want to be able to set the hook as soon as there is a legitimate, more than nibble, a strike, moving my bobber, float. Some people call it a bobber. I think that's got to be an English descent, bobber, because it sounds like a bunch of other weird English words, doesn't it? Bobber. You know, just like hacker. I wonder if that's an American word, or if that's derived in America after we've colonized the Americas, or if it is an old world derived word from England or some other country, hacker. I bet you that's a modern era modern slang word that became part of our English language dictionary officially. I bet you I looked it up. It's only been around a few decades. Well, maybe more. Still, no go. No go. Same technique. Teaser. Hook. With a finger mullet. Now even a second finger mullet on the teaser with a bigger hook. No strike. Patience. Patience. Patience and adaptation. Try different things. I was just so confident how easy that first one was, that there would be another one within a half hour. Whoa, what was that? I could not tell. Probably a bluefish. I'm actually surprised, because there are bluefish here and I've caught them. I'm actually surprised that the bluefish haven't taken my bait, even though that's not my target species. They are very, very, what's the word? Ravenous. They feed, and they feed very aggressively, and they're very, obviously, with those teeth and that eyesight, they're predatory fish. They move fast, strong jaws, strong teeth. They're like the piranha of, that's in my opinion, they look like piranha. If they schooled as much as piranha, which I don't think they do, if they schooled and attacked things in unison, oh my, there's a lot of activity here all of a sudden, but not on my line. Again, they would be a real force. I mean, if a bunch of bluefish went after the same prey animal, I mean, they could devour an elephant. And I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. If you had 100, 150, 200 big bluefish, if you had that many big bluefish, can you imagine what they could do to anything? And then we're not talking about piranha-sized bites, quarter inch, a half inch, or even bigger. We're talking about 5 to 6 inch bites from a big bluefish's jaws. An elephant would be all eaten up by these 150, 200, or mostly eaten up in a day. Okay, that was some extrapolation there. Did you notice how I calculated how long it would take for an elephant to be eaten by a herd of bluefish? And it was very good science there I used. So the bait is still good, it's viable. I'm gonna move it out, further out. I didn't spook any fish over there. That looks like a good spot. Looks like a very good spot. I am shocked they're not taking it. Whatever size they are, I am just shocked. I know they're around. I think my teaser is scaring them. All right, so next vote. For all those that think my little white feathery teaser is that's the negative, that's what's not working or spooking, press 1. All those that think that it's the teaser that is causing us to be devoid. Oh, there we go. There's something right behind it on the right. Press number 1 if you think it's the teaser that is making us fishless, second fishless. Or if you think that it's not, that's not why, press 2. Press 2. 1, it is the teaser. 2, it isn't. Thank you. Thank you for your votes. Come on, fish. Fishy, fishy, fish. That, by the way, is the recognized international call, sign, symbol, whatever, to call fish to be caught. Fishy, fishy, fishy. You guys didn't know that? Ah, jeez. If you didn't know that's it, you haven't been around. Fishy, fishy, fishy. You gotta call that. If you do that, you catch more fish. Why am I drifting so close there? It's this pedal drive. I'm just not used to it. I think I'm just tapping it, and I'm going upwind, up tide, just like really quickly. So I'm on top of my bait again. A bobber. My bobber. All right. How's your bobber? How's your bobber? Excuse me? What do you need? What do you mean to say about my bobber? I mean your fishing bobber. Oh, excuse me, sir. Yeah, I know. Too many years of fishing and hard living. Well, is this going away from me? Or am I? Oh no, I'm tangled in the back. Now this is a problem. This is how I got in trouble. This is how I got in trouble. I have a feeling I have a strike, and my line is caught up on my stringer, my fish. I think I had a strike. Well, it's gone now probably. Yep, if it was, it's gone. So if you do not set the hook very quickly, and this is not a circle hook self-setting, it's a regular hook. If you don't set it, you give the chance for the fish. Well, one is gone. I'm assuming that's what it was. That sucked. I got it caught up in the stringer around the back of the kayak because I wasn't managing the wind. And as a result of that, I probably lost the fish because I saw the bobber sort of going under. I'm hoping that it was recorded so I could determine exactly what happened on that when I look at the video when I get back later. I am curious. I'd also have one crab in here. They take fresh shrimp and possibly crab, but I just don't think it's their preferred. I guess a big red drum could eat anything, but I don't think they're preferred. They'd have to go do a lot more work to get by those claws, and they don't have really, per se, like bluefish kind of teeth. You know, they more grab and gulp. I mean, that's what I see. They're more opportunistic and bottom feeders, from what I take so far. So, all right. So I'm gonna go back there. That was a good spot. Just because I messed up doesn't mean it's not good. So again, I'm trying to go right. Come on, right. There we go. It's coming around right, finally. Up. Perfect. Perfect. That's where I want to be. Okay. I am not putting this fall down. I'm gonna Hold the pole. And paddle at the same time. There we go. There's a strike. Oh! I was not ready. I said I'm going to be ready, but I was not ready. Come on, take it again. Or the second fish. See, I'm trying to turn and face, and it's just not happening. That's what happened there. It's all right. Live and learn. Live and learn the Hobie. Outback. That was not cool. We probably went for the lower one. I was not ready to set the hook. Might as well just drift and have the pole in my hand than trying to perfect this technique that obviously apparently is very difficult. There's another reason I got the line caught in the pedal. Another beautiful thing. Nothing like perfection. I love perfection. Whoa, look at this. I didn't even lose the second fish. No, I lost the first fish. Look at that. It took whatever that was, it took the bigger one. The bigger of the two. Oh, this pedal. Dude. I gotta figure out what to do with these pedals, dude. I'm just not used to this stuff. Alright. Do the same thing, bigger fish on top, smaller fish on bottom. Alright, let's get back to that point. Get the bucket out of my way. I'll tell you one thing that I did just notice. Oh, I lost the other bait. I guess it was just barely hanging out. That since it's kind of wide, the kayak is the wide base. It doesn't, like I said, it's very stable. It doesn't tip over easily. I am going left, right, and reaching back for the bucket, and it's a lot more stable than my, big, sleek, long ocean prowler. It's a lot more stable just doing stuff on the kayak. Reaching back for gear, putting on line, hooks, whatever. It is more stable, so that I'll give that an 8. 1 out of 10 for stability. I give this kayak an 8 right now on the stability factor from how I've used it so far. Also, I definitely give it a 9 at least on the power of the drive system. The learning curve, getting used to that drive system, I'm not rating yet, but again, just trying to just use the pedals and the little rudder system to do what I'm trying to do, and it's just not happening. See, there we go again. Now how do I get from here to left? So I turn the paddles left, I hit it, it comes around. Well, that worked a little better. Gently, there we go. That was gentle, that was good. That was better. Maybe I'm getting the hang of it. That's what it is. It's user error, maybe? User error. Alright, no more messing around. I don't care if I get turned around. I'm going to use the paddle because I know just one touch of the paddle and I know what the kayak is going to do. So one little touch, two little touches, going towards my bait. I know what's going to do when I use the paddle. I don't have a feel for the drive system yet. Come on, baby. Whoever's here, give me another strike. Again, I have to go a far distance to just even turn. I don't. That's the only negative. Whereas a paddle, just hit it a couple times on the left, you turn to where you are without moving laterally. With the drive system, you have to cover distance as you're turning. It's not like, it's almost like the difference between fly-by-wire and old style. That's the way I look at it. I could do anything I need done with a simple flick right, left of the paddle. Turn it, turn the kayak any way I want. Look, I want to go right. Look, I want to go left. That's all I have to do. Come on, fishy! Here, fishy, fishy, fishy! So it's Saturday. Leaving tomorrow, Sunday. Checkout time is 11. So I don't know how much more fishing or anything that I'll be doing. There we go again. I don't know how the line is in the pedal. I can't get it out. Okay, I got it out. Turning left, using only the drive system, it's working. But I'm covering too much ground, getting too close to my bait, if you see. Let me try fishing downwind. Whoa, what was that? What was that? Let's try the reverse. Curious if I could. Yeah, that's pretty good. That was easy to change to reverse. That was real easy. Real easy. Look at this go reverse. I guess it's the exact opposite, and it's not an issue on this mechanism. So I'm going to try to fish downwind. So I'm going to go upwind a bit. My bait is following me along to the left. Upwind. There's the fish on the stringer, swimming along us. He or she. Got plenty of oxygen, actually fighting, trying to get loose. I saw many times. You want a healthy fish that's fresh if you're going to eat it, especially since I'm giving it to Jack, who was gracious enough to let me try this Hobie Outback Mirage. Okay, not far enough. So I have plenty of time to drift. Oh, back that way if I wish. Let's see what my bait looks like just to make sure I didn't miss something while I was doing that maneuver. Because if I got my bait ripped off, which I did, I got one ripped off, that would not be cool. But I'm wasting my time with
No bait or just one out of the two? Let me get one more small one again. I think maybe the hook size. Well, I don't know, it could be anything. Just guessing. Could be anything. Okay. Still in reverse. Ah, you gotta pull it harder to get it to go forward. Let's get turned the right way. That's it. That's it. All right, fishing downwind, down tide. So the one good thing about this is we're going to be floating and in the same direction instead of opposite. When you're fishing upwind, you're going to be, the bait is going to be coming close to you if you're trying to stay somewhat stationary. In this case, I'm going to be moving in the same direction as the bait, but obviously the kayak is going to be affected by it, by the wind and tide a lot more because of the profile. But we're still going in the same, at least the same direction. Did I get under the kayak stuck something? Yep. I am really good at this. It must have something under there that I'm not aware of. Part of the turning rudder system, God knows what. So I have no idea. I'm not gonna risk tipping the kayak, so I'm just gonna turn and hope I could free it up. I was hoping it was just the line, but no, it is hooked on something. It's really annoying that I cannot figure out how to get this off without God knows what happening. Yeah, it's stuck on something under the kayak. It's probably the pedal system. That's my guess. So I think I need to go to shore and figure out where it is and get the hook off and thank Jack probably. I should be headed out shortly. I don't want to take advantage of him, feel like I took advantage of him being out here hours and hours. I've already been here well over an hour.
So let's see if I can get back in using the drive and the steering for that drive. Let's see. Okay. Now I'm gonna really give it a, even though it's too close to me, I'm gonna see how fast I could actually go on this. I'm trying to turn left, by the way, here. Now, either me being hooked up on the line is affecting its steering, I bet. I will bet that's what's going on. I am sure of it now. It's affecting the steering because I'm trying to go left and it's just going straight. So the line on the pedal system, drive system, somehow is affecting its ability to steer. I'm trying to steer left right now. Look what happens. No left. It's actually going a little right, which doesn't make sense. But obviously it's a delicate mechanism. Oh, look at that wake. There was a big fish that I spooked there. Big fish. Does this come off? No, I wish it came off. I want to be fishing right here. Maybe I could do this. Maybe I could go to the shore. No, it'll hit the drive system. It'll hit. I can't. All right, let's go in. Let's see how fast this thing goes. And I'm gonna have to steer with a paddle because I cannot go left. I can go right. See, I'm doing right now. Let's see if it works right. Yep, it's working right. Let's see if we go left. All right, it's coming around left a little. Yeah, a little. Okay. There's another thing, and this is just me, just how I am. You hear that noise? Every time I pedal, that to me is just, I like peace and quiet, just hearing a little splash. I know I'm weird, that's the way I am. That's the way I am. I like peace and quiet. I mean, obviously I like to talk, but only about myself. Ah. All right, so it goes pretty fast. Not too terrific in the controlling that movement using the pedal drive and rudder system yet. You got a big learning curve on that to get more comfortable with it, or it's just I'm not quite suited for it, just in what I do right now. I probably have to use this and set it up to the right distance, and he said actually they have the angler and some other models. He said that would suit the type of fishing I'm talking about much better. I'm sure they would. So how do I get this out now? I have no idea. Maybe just pull it out. Let's see. I want to knock the phone down. Dude, you're killing me. There you go. And it was wrapped around. You see? So that's one way to get it off, I guess. You can pull up your Hobie drive, Mirage drive, whatever, I don't know, Mirage drive, I guess they call it. You could pull it out, and then there you go. You get your bait back. So, all in all, great trip. My thanks to Jack at Kitty Hawk Water Sports, Kayak Rentals, Dolphin Watches, Jet Ski Rentals, Hobie Fishing, Kayak Tours Rentals, Boat Rentals, Sunset Tours, Parasailing, Tubing Tours. Wow, they got everything here. Anyway, my thanks to Jack. Take care, all. Thank you for watching.